Hello everyone. I'm Mrs. Purvi Shah, mentor of pre-primary section of Mahavir English Medium School. Welcome you to our next session of Illuminaire series. Illuminaire series, the series introduced by Dr. Pallavi Soman, the principal of Mahavir English Medium School. The aim of this series is focusing on teachers' development. I would rather say that it's by the teachers, of the teachers, and for the teachers. So let me tell you my today's topic. Let me introduce you that today my topic is storytelling. Stories are the unique way of transporting us to the different worlds, where every word creates a magic and every character breathes life. When it comes to the story, I always remember my grandmother telling me different types of stories. Different stories based on everyday experience. Some fairy tales depend on the festivals. And even my mom used to tell me the bedtime stories. So like this, stories has become the integral part of our lives. What do you first think when you listen about the stories? Can anyone answer me? Okay. Yes.
Characters,
Sorry?
characters,
Characters?
characters with story.
Yes. And who loves to listen the story? Come on.
We all.
Rightly said. We always think that children loves to listen the story, but it's not like always not like that. We all love to listen to the stories. We all love the stories and different types of stories. We have long stories, we have short stories, and now in today's world, we have 1 minute story or 30-second stories also. So now, let me share you the objective of today's session. Let me present the screen for this. Objective of the session: understanding the importance of the storytelling. Why storytelling is so much important in our lives, in the life of children, I would rather say, as a teacher. Inculcating the elements of storytelling and imply post storytelling activities. So now let's go to the next slide for importance of storytelling. Importance of storytelling, the first topic is develops listening skills and language skills. When we say about the listening skills and language skills, it improves the vocabulary. The children gets exposure to the new words, understanding the sentences composition. When they can make a new sentences also. It improves their attention. They become more attentive and they focus on what we say and they enjoy also with that. Going to the next point, enhances imagination and creativity. Children starts thinking creatively, generates new ideas, creates mental images of the stories, and when we have the different characters, they imagine that characters, and which enhances their imagination. Let's go to the next topic, that is fosters emotions. Stories are filled with the emotions: happy, sad, surprise, many emotions are there. So children, they recognize and understands the feelings. They connects with the characters, with emotions. They start developing sharing, caring, and cooperation. Last but not the least, builds confidence. Storytelling encourages children to share their thoughts. They increase, their confidence is increased by role play, by drama, dramatization of the story. All these things we do it in our sessions, our lectures. And this all are the importance of the storytelling. So we have completed the first objective. Let me tell you now one story. So are you all ready to listen to that story? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for your quick response. The title is The Clever Barber. Once, a barber was passing through a forest full of animals. You can look at my expressions also. Okay. Suddenly, he heard a roar of a lion, and the barber looked around. A lion appeared and stood before him. But the barber did not panic. The barber did not panic. He gathered all his courage and went closer to the lion. Just imagine, the barber went closer to the lion. The barber said, "Oh, I have been looking for you since long. Where were you?" Lion was surprised, and lion asked, "But why you are looking for me?" Since he's a king of a jungle, so the gestures, the tone will be like that. And then the barber replied, "I wanted pair of lions. I want two lions. I have caught one. I have one already with me. And you will be the second one. So I'm so happy." Huh? Where is the lion that you have caught already? So the lion asked the barber. "You're the lion. You want to see the lion? Yeah, here it is. I have caught." And immediately the barber showed mirror to the lion. "Please spare me. Please let me go. I will not harm you, but today please let me go. I just want to go." The lion, the king of the jungle, begged. And then the lion ran away because the barber said, "Okay, fine. Today I am allowing you. You can go." And the lion ran away. And thus, the clever barber saved his life. So the moral, after we complete the story, we have a moral of the story. So what is the moral of the story? Act cautiously where there is danger ahead. The moral of the story, I repeat, is act cautiously when there is a danger ahead. So this was the story. And now let's see the elements of storytelling. Yes, the elements of storytelling. These all are the elements of storytelling. Let me check with the first one. Language. Use appropriate language, simple vocabulary when you are explaining them. You can use new words also. For example, in my story, as I said, the barber didn't got frightened. So we can say the barber didn't panic. So we can use new words. The barber did not panic. Next is the place. Elaborate the place where the event take place. Give environmental details. For example, if it is a forest, a dense forest, many wild animals were there. There was a snake sliding on the trees and the monkeys jumping from one tree to another tree. Next is voice modulation. Yes, when the lion, the king of the jungle, says anything, so it is roaring, the voice is loud. And when we are begging something, we are surprised, the voice modulation is different. So voice modulation plays the major role, major element in storytelling. And it even gives a kick to the children also. When you say the lion was roaring, those children also, gives a good impact to you. They will always reciprocate to you. Next is body language. You just cannot stand still and say the story. You have to give the posture should be good. The use of hands and legs and everything should be good according to the actions when we speak about the story. Expressions. The story is completely based on the different expressions, because expressions children understand more rather than the words. So when we are happy, you just smile. When you are in joy, you dance. When you are sad, you are upset. If you are begging for the life, you have to join your hands and say, "Please." So all these expressions should be seen on the face of a teacher when the teacher is teaching. Let me stop sharing the screen and show you some teaching aids which you can use. So teaching aids also plays a major role when you are teaching. These are the picture books having the big font. Okay. So picture books with big fonts. We can make the flashcards. Yes. Different flashcards also we can use. One more thing we can use when we take our storytelling session, and which is very attractive for small children. These are the puppets. So the lion was roaring, "But please, please, please let me go." So these are all things, teaching aids we use. And last but not the least, the teaching aids in nowadays, where audio visuals also creates some magic in the classroom. So audiovisuals are also one of the teaching aids in today's day. So let me go to the next element. We'll start sharing the screen for that. The content should be age appropriate. It should be according to the age of the children. It should be thought provoking. It should also include a good habits, good models. So the content should be always interesting. Last element of the story will be pause for dramatic effect. Give proper pause wherever it is needed. It will make children more curious to know what next. So the another lion came and give a pause. And then children will be curious. Then what happened? So like that, you can give a different pause and create a curiosity. And even you can have a little bit of rest while taking a storytelling. So these all are the elements of storytelling: language, place, voice modulation, body language, expressions, teaching aids, content, and pause for the dramatic effect. So let's go to the next slide, which is post-storytelling. Once we have done the story. So now after that, what? Storytelling. We can discuss the theme and the moral of the story. The children can discuss amongst them also. You can discuss various other forms of stories regarding, if you have taken the theme of a forest, you can discuss many more things regarding that. On animals, you can discuss more morals also. Ask comprehension questions. Yes, this we can do. You can continuously ask them, keeping on asking the questions. So we will come to know whether they are properly alert, they were listening, their listening skills were proper or not. Encourage creative writing and drawing. Now you can tell them to jot down the points, what you have learned, what you heard. For example, for art teacher, we can give them that you can draw what comes into your imagination, and they must draw the good, they draw the good figures, maybe good things on the canvas. They come up with the imagination, more imagination. So all these things we can take. Follow-up activities. Follow-up activities for bigger children, we can take, for example, we can go for a role play, dramatization. We can tell them craft activities like making the masks and etc. And last but not the least, question and answers. The question and answers you can ask so that the last benchers, you can come to know whether they are listening the stories properly or not. Their attention, then focus on the story, they are attentive or not. That also we can measure from that. And it will be a good give and take, like question and answers, a discussion on the stories. So these all are the storytelling elements which we have discussed, and post-storytelling points which we have discussed. So now let's go to the question and answer sessions. If anybody wants to ask anything.
We involve children in the storytelling with us.
How can you involve storytelling? You have to create the atmosphere first. Okay, you have to make a lovely starting. Once there was a big jungle, voice modulation. Correct? And then slowly, children will get involved. You can dress up also like that. So first thing is your appearance. You dress up like some characters, and not immediately, but slowly, children will start listening to you, start evolving. Okay, Gayatri ma'am.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
One by one, the children will start evolving, and then voice modulation will make effect. Now you're quiet, so they will be surprised why the teacher is quiet, and maybe they pinch another one and see, okay, now listen what teacher is saying. So all the children get evolved with all these points. When you yourself are ready with the things, first the atmosphere you have to create, you have to dress up like that, you have to tell them, wow, we are going for a wonderful session now, who wants to listen to the story, like that.
That atmosphere is to be created. Yes.
Correct.
Very
so
good.
So that is like you have to make that atmosphere. I agree that sometimes children are in their own mood, but then one by one, once you will start doing it, one will be attracted, two will be 10, will be 15, will be and 20, and image, like slowly many will get involved. because of all the elements when you use into the stories. For example, teaching aids. If you use the teaching aids, proper teaching aids. So in that teaching aids also, they will, if the teaching aid is attractive, they will definitely see you. They will definitely get involved. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We'll surely try the same thing. What you have just told. Very good, ma'am. Thanks a
How
lot.
can we apply it for secondary children? Ma'am, I didn't got your question. How can we apply it? What do you like? What do you want to ask?
How to apply storytelling techniques for secondary section?
Okay. So for
You
secondary
can
section, you
check
have to
you.
go for a role play.
Hmm.
We can dramatization. Nowadays, street plays. If you do it, then definitely other children will also come. Proper message should be given. The moral should be good. It should be according to the upcoming events, or it should be according to their level events. It should not be like the age criteria matters the most. It should be properly according to their age group. If you will select a story according to their age group and their techniques, they will be definitely attracted towards the story.
Many times they are not understanding the story.
Okay.
And how to make them involved? They are disturbed like that. Some part they understand, some they don't. Then how to make them involved in story?
Okay. So if they don't understand, use easy language. Can you use the simpler language for them? The language which they understand sometimes?
Yes.
Okay. So use proper language. And for small children, creating the atmosphere itself is very much important. Then only they will get involved. The same way I told another teacher that you have to create an proper environment for them. You have to wear dresses like that. How do you get attracted towards the characters in the movies or dramas? How do you identify? Through costumes, through proper dresses, proper costumes, props. You can use more properties to explain, which we call teaching aids. Okay, so all these things you can use and make your own story the interesting one.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Can you use storytelling for class control?
Yes, we can use.
The language barrier has to be there or not while storytelling.
If the children doesn't understand, you have to make it in a simpler way or in his language.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, if you want to explain some moral, for example, if you want to explain the moral of the story, you want to explain them, if you want to tell them, if they don't understand, then you have to, you might, sometimes you can. But the main element is to make them understand the moral of the story and your own story.
Thank you, ma'am. Perfect.
Okay, so we are closing the session right now, but thank you everyone for keeping so much of patience. And one more thing I would like to tell that stay tuned for more upcoming meetings, more upcoming series in a Value Minute series, more upcoming webinars, which we are going to have it coming up next. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe our channel. Thank you.